The market has been very tricky lately. Okay, in terms of the general Nasdaq, it's kind of technicals wise. Okay, we are like, I think at our lows we're at about maybe a little less than 10% off our highs, and now we've kind of regained back. So at the moment we are like 5% off our all-time highs. Okay, so that's kind of where we are at in terms of technicals. Okay, now if you look at the state of affairs, okay, for stocks in general, there's quite a few things that's happening, and I think it's just kind of good for us to understand some of these less technical kind of indicators. Okay, so we look at first of all economy. Okay, so yesterday, okay, the stock market rallied quite a bit. Okay, and that is because the jobs report. Okay, so basically it shows you like how many new job openings there are in the US. Okay, and with this latest report that was released yesterday, okay, the number has been going down. Okay, so that means for the past 3 months consecutively, the number of new job openings in the US has been going down. Okay, and investors see this as a possibility that there could be no more hikes coming in the future, and hence it's back in stocks. Okay, now you probably have no idea what I said. You probably have no idea what I mean if you don't study economics. So I'm just gonna break it down for you. Why having less job openings is good for inflation. Okay, so it's just 4 points. Okay, so less job openings, okay, means that overall in the economy you have less jobs. Okay, less jobs means that you have more unemployment. Okay, and more unemployment means that people don't have money because they're not earning any money, right? No salary, and no salary means less spending. Okay, less spending means overall people buy less. Okay, and when people buy less, prices fall. Okay, demand prices fall, and that's it. Yeah, correct, I just said it, prices fall. That is what we call inflation coming down. Okay, so this is why when we see news, okay, that unemployment has increased, when new job openings have decreased, okay, these are all signs that that potentially inflation can come down, okay, or may come down. Okay, and ultimately when all these signs point towards inflation coming down, okay, you have a Federal Reserve that may potentially say, okay, we're not going to be raising interest rates anymore. The fight against inflation, we did it, we are good. And the moment they come out and say we are good, okay, the whole stock market is going to go FOMO again. You're going to see stupid stocks like Upstart go up to 400-500. Okay, in addition to this, okay, we look at kind of inflation and the Fed. Okay, basically, I don't know lah, once a year, okay, the Federal Reserve, okay, our good friend Jerome Powell, he goes to this place called Jackson Hole to make a talk. Okay, and he talked for about 10 minutes lah. Okay, I watched it, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about, but at the end of the day, I know that he was neutral. Okay, so he wasn't like, oh, we're going to reduce, oh, we're going to increase. No, he didn't say anything like that. He was just kind of pretty much neutral. Okay, so to most people, if he didn't say that he wants to increase, it's a good thing. Okay, so that's why they see this as a kind of a bullish catalyst that pretty much the fight for inflation is over. Okay, and hence markets are rallying, or rather the consensus, the mood now is a little bit better than it was maybe like, I don't know, a week or two ago. Okay, in terms of some stock news, okay, I'm just gonna want to wrap up some of the more trending stocks, okay, that kind of either moved up or down a lot recently. Okay, so I'm sure we all know, okay, especially for today, the purpose of this video is Nvidia. So Nvidia reached its $1.2 trillion market cap. Okay, we look at other stocks that have been trending. Okay, we see Tesla making a comeback. Okay, so I think it's kind of like its little best run since I don't know when now. Okay, but basically Tesla's on a comeback again. We have this beautiful stock from Vietnam called VinFast. Okay, and as the name implies, it has very quickly moved up and it has also very quickly moved down. Okay, as of before yesterday, before that 50% fall off, 50% sell off, okay, VinFast is actually worth more than Goldman Sachs. Okay, so we look at an EV company, not earning money, still burning, cars are all like, subpar when they're producing it, they're worth more than Goldman Sachs. Okay, so welcome to the state of the market. Okay, we look at PDD. Okay, you'll probably laugh when I say this. Okay, I call it Pinduoduo, but I'm sure there's a proper pronunciation for this. So PDD beat their EPS by 3 times. Okay, from an expected 3.17 yuan to 10.5. Okay, so that's very good. Okay, so the whole stock ran up like 20% yesterday. On the other hand, stocks like NIO, okay, unfortunately sales fell by 20%, margins are falling, whatever, everything, and they also crashed yesterday. Okay, some stocks in recent time as well is C Limited. Okay, so C Limited, unfortunately, the pain is not over yet. Okay, we saw price cuts by analysts from 100 drop to 50 in their recent earnings. Although they turn a profit, but growth is massively slowing. Okay, they cut back on a lot of things. So when you cut back on everything, like manpower, advertising, blah blah blah, overall your revenue will slow down. It is unavoidable. Okay, so these are kind of the few stocks that I see trending, but overall, I think the question we should ask ourselves, okay, is do we want to invest in companies that are like playing to survive, or do we want to invest in companies that are playing to win? Okay, if you look at a company like C Limited, are they winning or are they surviving? Okay, likewise, if you look at a company like I don't know, let's give a more neutral one. Okay, like let's say I don't know Google. Okay, are they playing to win or are they playing to survive? And this is very interesting because even in my own personal capacity, okay, I ask myself when I work for companies, okay, do I want to work for a company that is like cutting costs and they're just kind of like really kind of like huddling in, like turtling up and trying their very best to survive, or do I want a company that is going to tell me to like okay, let's keep going, we have backing, we have funding, we want to do more, okay, and personally, for me, okay, I mean, not that I'm going to be the next Genghis Khan, but I do want to some extent leave a mark on history. So the last thing I want to do is to work for a company that's turtling up, closing itself. That's not the kind of company I want to work for. And when I invest, okay, as much as possible, okay, I also want to invest in companies that want to win. Okay, but having said that, okay, although I contradict myself a little bit, okay, I have a very small position in C Limited, less than 1% of my portfolio. Okay, so like give and take a bit, okay, but if not, let's move on to the topic for today, and that's Nvidia. Okay, so the question about Nvidia. I sold off Nvidia. Okay, I am Nvidia-less. Okay, I turned about an 80% profit on it. I bought it at about 150, sold it at about 300-ish. Okay, and that's it for me. Oops. That's it for me. That's my position. Okay. The tricky thing about Nvidia now, right? Okay, is that we see it hitting like 500. Okay, and the rally seems to have continued. But I just wanted to take a step back, and I prepared just a very quick one pager on some of the very key information that I think you should know as investors. Okay, but before I do that, okay, I just want to say that personally for me, I think Nvidia is a great company. Okay, I think that and all my life I've been buying Nvidia graphics chips. Okay, so graphic cards. Okay, so at pre-COVID, okay, I bought the 2060, and I think 2 weeks ago I bought the 4060. Okay, so that's a bit drifting a little bit, but I love Nvidia. Okay, I think the company is great. I think that they are going to be like one of the best companies out there. But the question is, how much are you really paying for growth? And is the price you pay, is it fair to you? So let's kind of look at some of the numbers a little bit. Okay, so at the very onset, okay, Nvidia is currently riding our little AI boom, okay, and they have this chip, okay, this is AI chip that is like I think for $40,000 for one, so that's a really expensive chip considering that my GPU is only like 400-500. Okay, they want to increase production of this chip by 3 times. Okay, if we look at that's a bullish catalyst for the company. The company has zero debt. Okay, so they don't owe anyone anything. Okay, very much like Palantir. Okay, and in general, I find Nvidia to be a very nimble company. Okay, so they're able to like kind of go market to market. So you see, last time, right, they were producing chips for cars. Remember, there was this point in time where the news was all about GPUs for cars and not enough GPUs for cars, kind of thing. And then when crypto hit, when COVID hit, they kind of went to the narrative of like producing all these GPUs for the crypto, the miners, correct? And now you see that they're producing all these chips for AI. Okay, so it's very interesting how they're moving from market to market. And although we can argue that there's a certain investment that they need to make, correct, to R&D for this sector, so and of course they have ROI for that, but whether you look at it from a good or a bad point of view, the fact that I have here is that their car segment is actually slowing by 15% quarter on quarter. Okay, so when one segment starts to kind of slow down a bit, okay, and other segments start to rise, they move from market to market, and it begs the question, like what's going to be next, after AI, and if there isn't something next after AI, can their growth still sustain? And of course, the question that we ask ourselves is where are we at in AI? Okay, and to be honest, right, even I don't know. Okay, is AI going to continue? I mean, is this rally even sustainable? I mean, if you use Palantir as like the so-called index, for the AI movement, we kind of see kind of from a very nice time to 20 kind of fall to 15, and we're kind of consolidating it, at this level. So could AI be in a stage of consolidation before it moves up, or is this it? Okay, I don't know. Okay, but overall for me, okay, I do think that Nvidia is a little bit overpriced, okay, and I'm going to justify why. So when we look at the price to sales ratio of a company, currently Nvidia last week at 47, this week at 34. Future forward earnings next year, price to sales ratio is going to be at 15. Okay, so it's actually not too bad, right? Price to sales is going down, right? 47, 34, 15. But if you compare it to other companies, okay, so don't ever look at these numbers in isolation. Compare it. Okay, if you look at companies like Microsoft, so they're trading at like 11.3 price to sales ratio. Apple trading at 7.3. So Nvidia is still relatively expensive, okay, in that sense. So the question now is, of course, if you look at their future price to sales ratio is like 15, but you want to ask yourself, do you want to pay like future prices for something at the present? Because in my opinion, I'd rather pay something present. I'd rather pay the present day price for the present than the present day price for the future. So it's really very tricky. Okay, but in general, I do think that Nvidia overall is a great company. Make no mistake, that nothing wrong at all. Okay, it's just that I do think that what you're paying for it, it's a little bit too much for this day and age. The amount of growth that is factored in for the future, it's a lot of ifs. Okay, and if you look at some of the ifs that I have here, we're looking at a possible 101% revenue growth. Of course, they raised their guidance, right, 12 billion to 16 billion. They want to sell tons of this $40,000 AI chip. And whenever there's new AI news, like yesterday, correct, Google said that they released some new AI product. Nvidia continues to go up as well, correct. And of course, PS ratio, as I mentioned, and they have a forward PE of 200. Okay, so the stock is priced at 200 price to earnings in the future. Okay, so overall, the question really is sustainability, correct? I mean, can AI go on forever? I don't know. I think that if you missed, in my opinion, I wouldn't say I missed the AI climb, okay, but I'm not about to chase it any further. Again, maybe that's just my style of investment, not financial advice to you, but hey, I mean, if you want to be like, no one thought that VinFast would like up, down, and then up all the way to 90. No one knew, right? So if you chase it, then good on you, but I want to have a portfolio, ultimately, that when I look at it every day, as I mentioned at the start of the video, every week, every month, that I can still kind of sleep in peace. So I look at my stock, I look at my beautiful things like P&G, I look at nice things like Google. These are things that I look at them, right, I feel like I can sleep very well at night. Okay, and I think yesterday, and when you guys use Scythe, okay, not that I'm biased to them, no sponsorship, okay, I don't do that kind of stuff on this channel. But when you get the Scythe app, you get your dividends, ting, you get $1.30, $5, $6, $7. I think that's great. I can sleep well that way. Okay, but let's take a pause here. Okay, I want us to take a look at the charts of Nvidia. So we can see that ever since they formed, their little golden cross over here, sometime about Q1 of this year when the stock was still trading at a little less than 200. Okay, so they formed that golden cross right over there. We can see that the stock has been on a stellar move all the way up. Okay, for me, okay, I sold somewhere about here. Okay, so this area here, because I noticed that there was a consolidation there, and I think the stock went up a little bit too much. Okay, so obviously, right, I missed out a lot, okay, on the huge rally upwards. But I mean, hey, if I'm so good at everything, then I wouldn't even be here talking to you, okay. So let's take a look a little bit, okay, at where they are at now. So to be honest, technical analysis cannot really help us when like the stock is like sky high with this kind of gap up. Okay, I find technical analysis to be pretty much almost useless when after a gap up, a stock consolidates up there in the sky. Okay, but if I just kind of really try and really put some logic to this, okay, we can see that at the very least, the price action, okay, is still indeed forming a series of, to some extent, higher highs and higher lows, okay. So there's still some sense of up down, and even as of yesterday, okay, just kind of bring it up a little bit, this part over here, right, okay, so we want to see this kind of move up a little bit more to kind of retest like maybe at least 520 to be able to say that okay, there's actually a confirmation signal that the bull rally will continue. But if not, in my opinion, this kind of chart right with these lines, also the accuracy rate to me is very, very low. Okay, so in Nvidia, I think in terms of if you're looking to trade the technicals on Nvidia now, you must be a genius. Please tell me how you do it. I also want to know. But for me, I've been looking at charts like pretty much like a long time now, and I cannot make sense of the Nvidia chart. Okay, moving average also don't make sense at all. Okay, so overall, these are my thoughts. Okay, about Nvidia as a whole. Okay, once again, I think it's a great company. But we really want to ask ourselves, what price are we willing to pay for growth? And in my opinion, with the capital that I have, I do think that there are other companies out there that, of course, I will share in a little bit, that I'm happier to put my capital in, that will kind of really make me sleep better at night. And like right now, I'm looking at the stocks every day, right? But whoa, if I went back into Nvidia now, right, I'll probably be looking at it every hour. Okay, so not good for mental health. Okay, but if not, of course, girls and guys out there, thanks for watching these videos. To me, I love the stock markets, okay, and all we want to do is, of course, know that there are like-minded people like us that exist. Okay, once again, when I ask myself, why am I doing this channel? And very simply, I want everyone to know that actually finance is really not very tricky. All you just gotta do it logically. And I don't want to be using too many like jargons, over here. But of course, some of the small things I use, if you're not sure, please just ask in the comments. More than happy to reply comments. Okay, I actually kind of like to talk to people. Yeah, a little bit, that depends. Okay, but if not, really have a great week ahead. Friday is a public holiday. Okay, so even for those that can or cannot vote, you're also public holiday. So those that cannot vote, just take it easy lah. Okay, but if not, see you guys. Have a great week ahead.